G'day, it's Dave Yates here. I'm here to show you a little bit around EthosOne as a demo today. As you can see in front of us, we are in Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. This is our demo account that gives you a bit of an idea of how we use the system for schools. So what we've got here is the company details page. We've allowed it to be customized with custom icons, custom logos, custom colors. Allows you to put in all the organization details that start to pre-form some of the context in our MCP that helps with some of the other AI workflows we've got running in the background here. You can set up as many seats as you like. You can run custom company-wide folders. You can set obviously your notification preferences, but the two most important areas in setting up an organization, and they come with defaults, but obviously very easy to customize to your own needs, is the risk criteria, including setting of categories and levels of impact, as well as scoring scales and risk appetite statements for each of the categories. So a really powerful and important job for school boards and governing councils to go through together. But we also support making that transparent to parents as well. So we've got the ability to take our artifacts like our policies and our camps and our risks and publish them and make them visible online through either something connected to our website or through something we can publish ourselves. And by doing so, we are able to give them a trust portal that shows, okay, this is our policies. Here are our camps that are coming up. Download the management plan. And here are some risks that we've made available to you, so you can see the work we've done to pull all this together, which is exciting. So you get a bit of an idea that we're an oversight platform. We're about providing transparency and visibility to the work that we've done, and be able to provide a space to build trust with parents and increase the amount that you can be trusted as well. Some of that work is in compliance as well. If you're managing compliance, it might be over a privacy statement, it might be over some commitments made in an agreement, it might be a compliance calendar because you're an independent school in Australia and there is a published compliance calendar every year by the Independent Schools Association. And so we support that full list, and you can go through and assign people to those roles and give them due dates, or it comes pre-filled with the due dates relevant for those items as well. So you can manage those different lists and dive in or even make your own from scratch, or you can just tick them off as they become done and report on that compliance as they go through as well. And the people assigned to those roles are kept informed of their requirements or obligations under those compliance lists. In addition to that, we support policies. So this is like a version control system that gives you the ability to manage version history and report on what's happened with each policy throughout the process. So each document can be tracked and measured while we build a RAG in the background for the ethos of the school across policies, across strategies, across information and how the organization's run and led as well. In addition to policies and compliance, we've also got schedules. That's another part of the tool. So schedules allow us to provide schools with a way to manage projects. Believe it or not, schools do multi-million-dollar projects and very rarely have the project management tools available to do the management themselves. And they're quite often trying to cut costs and do a lot with a little. And so being able to provide them with a simple tool like this has been a bit of a game changer for the schools we have spoken to. So they're pretty excited about this. And that allows them to not need another SaaS product and can still run with the same accountability set and the same upwards reporting and status management as we have with the other tools, which makes it easier when we jump into the dashboard to see, okay, well, what are the things that are tied to my person at the moment that I might need to keep an eye on as well. Beyond compliance and policies and schedules, we've also got risks. Now, there are two ways to manage risks. We're either monitoring risks from a board perspective, which is aligned to the ISO 31000 standard. So that allows you to really go through a comprehensive risk analysis process where you're not just establishing scope and context and risk distributions, but with each individual risks, you're stepping through a process of risk identification, risk analysis, and risk evaluation. So you're setting up who's responsible for each piece. You're going through the risk identification and how bad this could get. You're then updating that to where you'd like it to get to, and the work that's going to be required to get it there. And then you're tracking the status of whether or not it's actively controlled or passively controlled or in progress is something you're actually trying to get done. So this particular sustainability program is unfinished, so it's still in progress and tied to Pomona Sprout, which means that whilst the controls are green, the treatments are still in progress. And so we're not finished yet. So what that means when we look at it back here is you'll see environmental non-compliance is in progress. And we're 50% complete because that sustainability program is still in progress. Now, that's for risk monitoring. And it's a complex system, but something that's incredibly useful, particularly at private schools where there's no parent body over the top like a government or a church diocese or something like that. So when they're run like a Fortune 500 company, then they need that level of sophistication in their risk management. When they're not, they sometimes just need something simple like a risk assessment tool, and that's where this comes in. Now, it's basically running the same process. It's just running it with a simpler set of tools. So, for example, I'll get one with a few in it. These are all demo ones. We've got one here for magic interference in the pool area, student slipping over, or student drowning. Here we go. Okay. So student drowning, very severe, but also very unlikely given that there was a lifeguard and swimming instructors and student ability and a mandatory buddy system. But beyond that, we're also going to have a defib on site. We're also going to have enchanted, what is this one? Enchanted emergency something. Oh, I've got to get into edit mode here. Here we go. Enchanted emergency flotation charms and mandatory water safety induction and a staff refresher on CPR as well. So all of these things are going to reduce that down to a place where now we feel like we've taken what is the risk rating and we're doing things to it without having to get all complicated in residual and inherent risks and all the rest of it. Go back here though, you'll see that some of these are tagged with camps and excursions. The reason for that is because they support embedded risk assessments inside of our camps and excursions module. So what we do is we track through the process of briefing, approval, scheduling, readiness, and then debrief for every camp and excursion that a school might want to run. It's an oversight tool. So it's setting up the approval process with the right levels of governance. So what are the details? What are the student ratios? What are the supervisors? What's the communication process? Who are all the people that are going to be there? What are the volunteers and their phone numbers? Have they been inducted? Has HR cleared them? Is there a risk assessment that's been done? And this is where that embedded risk assessment comes from. It's visible in the other risk assessments, but it's also embedded within here. And then there's an emergency plan tool here as well that has a whole process around evacuation and emergency access points and just ensures that the whole step's been done properly. We then record everything that we need to around transport and we submit for approval. And there's a same as policies, an approval process to sign off on these ones. What that allows the camp to do is create that publishable version of the camp that can go out to parents to say, this is the plan, here's everyone that's coming along with us, this is the emergency management plan and the risks that we've identified along the way as well. Then we can get into pre-planning and we can add tasks and we can step through these tasks and get them started and completed. And then there's a management checklist as well to go through, have we done a risk assessment? Are we satisfied that it's being safely supervised? Have we identified a meeting point? All the rest of it, and just triple checking that we're good to go so that we're ready. And then there's that summary that can be shared with the parents should we feel like that's appropriate. And then at the end, we can debrief the camp as well and go through and save against the camp's record what was good and what wasn't and what might work and what won't, and go from there. So that's camps and excursions. In addition to that, we've got assurance logs. These are basically smart spreadsheets that metadate and metadata, stamp metadata onto rows with the ability to have any kind of custom columns you might need to manage a parent-teacher altercation or a critical incident, what happened, who was involved, or safety, what was the name, who was involved, what was the oversight, is there any evidence, etc. So being able to track and manage those assurance logs becomes really useful. Last but not least, there's meeting management. So meeting management allows you to set up a co-worker or a meeting assistant to run the meetings, whether that's an executive meeting or a weekly leadership meeting or a board meeting. It allows you to have something join the meeting and run through. I might go back and get the other example, this one here. So if we go back to run the meeting, no, I've already reviewed and closed it. So this allowed us to make some decisions, add some actions on the back of the meeting of what needs to happen. That can be also automatically added to the meeting based on the transcript that we record. And the way we record a transcript meeting is if I go to the one we're planning here, the leadership team meeting, we've got invitees that we can run a roll call with and see who's present and who's absent. We can run an agenda. We've got informed decisions we'd like people to make. And we've got the ability to run a live transcription with an AI note taker and auto action capture. So those auto actions are going to grab and at the end of the meeting, auto load out of the transcript as we go. In addition to that, we can attach pre-reads, which are these ones here. These are PDFs. They can be document files. They can be links as well. So we can do links or upload files to make it work. And we can send pre-read, which wraps the whole thing up and sends everyone in the meeting a pre-read, including the decisions that need to happen and the notes, as well as access to view the files and the links in this secure environment ready for them. In addition to that, the actions that we capture in the process of running a meeting through each of the agenda, as we step through each of the agenda items, is captured here. And what that allows us to do is not just grab an action, but grab an action and link it to an artifact. And so we might be able to say, okay, well, within the risk system, we want the Hogwarts risk management to be attached to it. And now that link is there and I can jump straight to that linked artifact like that. And it takes me straight there, straight away. So we can start to link actions to certain things that people have to do within the system, which allows that full circle loop of the artifacts serving the artifacts and starting to pull a concise picture together of how your school might be run. And last but not least, we've got folders, which means you can run things like committees or boardrooms with a specific set of things so everyone knows where to find the bits that matter to them. And that gives you an overview of EthosOne and everything we can do for schools who want to up their compliance, governance, and leadership. Thank you.